Welcome to yet another set of video notes. Today we're going to talk about 1.3, which is called solve linear equations. This is probably what most of you think about when you think about algebra. Let's just review. Solve means we're going to get a value or values for our answer. Linear means it looks like a line. And equations, for the first time, we're going to have equal signs in things. Now, this is really supposed to be a review. Hopefully you all kind of know how to do this, but we do need to go back and remember a few things. So I wrote some hints for you. First of all, get rid of any parentheses. If you need to distribute, that would be a great idea. Remember, distributing means multiply by each term. Or maybe it looks something like this. Okay, you multiply by the 2 for both the x and the 7. Our other goal is we've got to get all the variables onto one side. So we're going to move them. And to move them, you always do the opposite. We'll look at this as well. Finally, my hint to you is just undo the equation to get the variable by itself. If you notice I said undo, that means you're going to do the opposite of what is there. All right, so those are your 3 hints. Let's go ahead and try some problems. Our first example, I think most of you will feel comfortable with. We check. There's no parentheses. Don't need to worry about that. There's only one time the variable or the x appears. So we don't have too much to do other than we need to get this x by itself. Well, it's with the 4 and it's with the 9. Which one do we get rid of first? Well, we're undoing it, so it's kind of the opposite of order of operations. We're going to subtract 9 from each side. Notice, each side of the equal sign, I expect all this work to be shown. So, what's left on this side? Just a 4x. If you take 21 minus 9, you get 12. Okay, well now all that's left with the x is the 4. What's going on between the 4 and the x? Great, you know it's multiplying. So to get rid of it, to undo it, we divide, and we get x equals 3. Not too bad, right? Let's go on to our next example. Once again, we've got negative 3/5 x plus 1 equals 4. We don't have any parentheses. We have x's only on one side, so all we need to do is undo the equation. There's a negative 3/5 and a plus 1. Which are we going to get rid of first? Well, go through order of operations backwards, get rid of the adding. How do we get rid of adding? We subtract. So we get, on the left side, negative 3/5 x equals 3. Now this one's going to be a little trickier. Hopefully you're not afraid of fractions. They're just a number. But think about what is going on between negative 3/5 and the x. We are multiplying. So I guess we should divide by negative 3/5, but oh my, doesn't that look messy? Do any of you remember what dividing by a fraction is like? Oh, yay, somebody said it. It's multiplying by the reciprocal. So instead of negative 3/5, it's negative 5/3. The rule in algebra is what you do to one side, you do to the other. Okay, so this all turns out to be just x. Some of you might say, I'm still not sure what I'm supposed to do. Remember, you could put it over 1. And then either we can say 3 times negative 5, which gives us negative 15. 1 times 3 gives us 3. And when you reduce that, you get negative 5. Or remember that unit conversion we worked on? Aren't these kind of diagonal and can cancel out? And you get negative 5 over 1. Same answer. Okay, well, we're going to step it up just a little bit to this example. Okay? This example is a lot busier, and that's what's going to happen in your homework too. Suddenly you're going to be like, oh my, this is a lot. But what was the first thing I told you? Can you look back in your notes and see? That's right, get rid of the parentheses. So negative 4 times 2x is negative 8x. I'm sure you had that right. Negative 4 times 5, negative 20. Remember how we talked about we're not going to write that plus negative stuff down? Just keep the sign in front. Let's distribute over here. 2 times negative x is negative 2x. 2 times negative 9 is negative 18. And negative 4x. Now, unlike our other examples, we have x's all over the place. So I think you should combine like terms. Remember how we talked about like terms the other day? What is negative 2x minus 4x? You're right, it's negative 6x. Okay, well, we need to get them all to one side. And this is where you get to have some choices. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this guy over here. But if I want to get rid of him, what would I do? Well, let's see. He's a negative 6x. To get rid of him, I do the opposite. I add. And that's why keeping those signs constant or right in front really seems to help. What is negative 8x plus 6x? Negative 2x. Okay, and now look, in a couple steps you've gotten it down to an easy problem. What are you going to do first? Well, you're going to add 20 because you've got to get both the negative 2 and the negative 20 to the other side. So we add, we get negative 2x equals 2. Now, what do we do to get the x by itself? Well, multiplying is going on here, so we need to divide to undo it. What is 2 divided by negative 2? Negative 1, and you're done. Okay? Now, just in case you thought this was getting too easy, we do have a little bit of a word problem to look at. But this is no different than what you did on that Roman numeral page and what we've just finished. Let's read it together. Always the important part. A real estate agent's salary is $22,000. The agent earns 4% commission on total sales. How much must he sell to make $60,000? Well, we're trying to figure out how much they're going to sell. So let's just assign it X, make it easy, okay? Well, we want his salary to be $60,000, or we want his salary is $60,000. A lot of times if you hear is, that's a clue word that it's going to equal. Well, how does he earn his salary? Is it just what he gets paid per hour? No, he gets this, the $22,000, and then he gets a commission. Well, let's see, it's 4% on total sales, but I don't know the total sales, right? Oh, but we've got X. Many of you knew the other day, percent can be written as a decimal, 0.04, and we just need to multiply that by X. Look, you even wrote the equation. Now, is this all that difficult to solve? I don't think so. We've got two numbers, 22,000 and 0.04. Which one should we get rid of first? Remember, we're undoing. Good. We're going to get rid of the 22,000. And what you do to one side, you do to the other. So we've got that. We've got 0.04x. Now, 60 minus 22, well, let's see. That's 38,000. So what do we have left to do? All we need to do is divide by 0.04. Now, this is where those calculators are really going to come in handy. You're going to go ahead, you're going to figure this out, and I think you should get, wow, he has to sell almost $1 million to make $60,000. But I guess that's what happens when you only earn 4%. All right, I hope this was a helpful review, and I'll see you in the next class, and we'll practice. Bye.